I think most of people know patent law, the law that allow human to patent life, plants, animal, or microorganism. This law, the explanation, the reason that they make this law, they said that to encourage people to develop more varieties of plants, animal, or microorganism. Because they think about it will be like copyright law. When you invent something, you can own it. You can make money from it. And then it encourages other people to invent another thing too. That is the way we develop this world, to have high technology, to have everything that we have now. And I think it will be the same thing if we have patent law like copyright law. If we allow people to own life after they develop it, it will encourage people to develop more varieties of plant, animal, or microorganism. That's what we believe. But in the last 40 years, 50 years, we learned that it's not like that. Patent law is the law that allows big corporations to monopolize the food, to own life, to control life on this earth. In the past, humans developed a lot of animal, plants. They did a lot of development on that thing, but they did not own it because they have public mind. They think that they want to select the best thing for their children, for next generation. So in the past, people always develop things all the time. Everybody, they select in a natural way. Like if we have banana, this banana can resist to some disease. They can survive in the epidemic or something like that. So they will keep this banana for next generation because it's stronger. Or if they taste better, taste good, so they will save it for the next generation. They will propagate them and spread them more, give them to people. This is the way they select the good taste, the best, the strongest one, the high yield, and then resist to anything, any disease or problem easily. That's why we have so many good things in our life now. But when we have patent law, people feel like we cannot develop. Villagers or farmers think they cannot develop plants or animal anymore. It's a job of scientists. It's a job of academic people. It's a job of people who have a lot of knowledge, have a lot of skill. So most of people feel they cannot do it. So now the development of plant or animal or microorganism is in the hand of a few companies mostly, and in the hand of some government organization. But this group of people, they did not develop like people in the past, because their aim, they want to get high yield and fast. There's two main aims that they think about it: high yield and fast, because they can monopolize it. If they can own it, they can monopolize it, they can make a lot of money. And when we have patent law like this, the number of biodiversity decreased very fast, because this company, the government organization, they spend a lot of money to develop each varieties. And then when they develop some varieties, they will make profit from it as long as they can, until they have competition, until they cannot make profit anymore. They will put new variety out. This technique, it make the biodiversity in the world decrease a lot, because this company, they work with the company who buy the fresh produce from farmer too. If you grow this seed from this company, we will buy from you. If you don't use the seed from this company, we don't buy it from you. So that's the way they force farmer to grow less and less and less variety. They will grow only the variety that they can sell it easily. And then they ignore the local variety that they used to grow in the past. This is the way we make biodiversity decrease very fast after that. We can see like corn take over most of the land, farmland in the world. Rice, a few variety can be grown because you can make money from it. But local variety, nobody want to grow because you cannot sell it. So this is the biggest problem in the world now, because patent law is the law to allow people to own life. But life should not be owned by anybody, because life is related together. It's like a circle. You can disconnect life from each other. When you own one life, that means you own the whole circle of life. When you own this plant or own this microorganism, that means you own this plant, you own this thing. It's different from Microsoft, different from engine or song or movie. When you make a song, you can have a copyright on it. If I don't want to listen to the song, it's okay, because that song did not relate to my life. If I don't use that machine, it's okay, I can survive, because that machine don't need to relate to my life. So copyright is good in that way. It helps people to invent more new things for the world. But patent right, you own life, but life relates to everything. So when you own one life, that means you own everything. When you own one variety of plants, that means you own people's life too. You own microorganisms, you own everything too, because it relates together, it connects together. So patent right is the law. Patent law is the law that make it to allow big corporations to monopolize the world, to occupy the world. This is the law to rob the food from the world. How to make robbery become legal? By making law. Use law to make it legal. With no law, this is robbery. So I don't agree with patent right. So what we are doing now, we encourage farmers to come back to develop our plants, our animal, in the way that our ancestors used to do. Develop them, select the best taste, the strongest one, the last long one, high yield, and then resistant to flood, to drought, to disease very well. We select them and then transfer them to next generation and give to people, to other people. And then if we grow something like this, we develop varieties of plant or animal in this way, we maybe don't have a market, big market, like we grow the seed from the big company. But we need to create local market, create our own market. We don't need to think about selling our produce all over the world, but we have to think about grow for ourselves and grow for our community. If we think in this way, I think we can develop so many things in our life, because farmer is our life to grow things and select things in the way we want them. We don't want to spend tons of money like academic people or scientist people who develop plants or animals. We don't need high technology to develop this thing. We can use natural way to select them with less investment. But it's in our life. We are a farmer. We grow them, we look at them, we observe them, experiment them, and then we select what is good. I think this way it will be good, because we don't need to own it. We don't need to develop plant to own that plant, or we don't need to develop animal to own that animal, because our ancestors, they never think about own it, but they develop it for next generation, for their children. Their children is their life too, because they connect to us. So when we develop it in this way, that's the way we bring back our own culture, generous culture that humans used to live together for many thousand years. We need to keep this culture. But patent law is about own it for yourself only. You own it for yourself to make yourself rich, but you don't care other people. But in the past, our ancestors, they developed to give to people. It's different. I prefer to follow the old way. That's why now we have to do a lot of training and networking with people who do seed saving and developing plants or animals together. We start to create a small group in Thailand, and we try to connect with many groups in the region too. So I think we don't need to be rich, but we need to have abundance of food, abundance of love, loving, abundance of friends, abundance of good communities. That is what the main thing that we need in our life. So we don't like patent law. We will do opposite with patent law. When they allow people to own it, we will propagate more and give for free. That is what we are doing now.